hold on. Hey. This is a real interview. I'm getting sabotaged right now. It's a podcast. I'm getting interviewed by Coulda Been D1 podcast, bro. They're the biggest podcast this side of the Mason-Dixon. And please include that in the episode. Biggest podcast.
We will. We're live, actually.
It's like part of my take, except it has like maybe 10 fewer listeners a month.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 6 of Coulda Been D1. Today is Tuesday, October 7th, and we have the boy Napolean back from his feud with Mark Sanchez. Napoleon, can you kind of just break down what was going on that night? You guys ran into each other, and what happened with the knives?
Yeah, I mean, before anything, I just want to say thank you, guys. I'm glad to be back speaking to you. Second thing I want to say is Mark Sanchez is a psycho. If you thought the butt fumble was bad, I mean, you see this guy after a couple drinks. It was terrible. I was scared for my life. Me and a DoorDash driver, we were just having a normal day, hanging on the side of the road, and out of nowhere, this guy comes out swinging on everybody. The DoorDash driver tried to defend himself with his pocket knife. Sanchez picks it up, stabs me. That's what the media won't show you. My team will be suing him out of everything he owns. I'm traumatic experience. I'm still scarred about it. But at least it kept me away from the television on football Sunday when the Panthers were playing. Let me tell you that.
All you guys are here. You guys heard the news. Today is Tuesday, and Joe Flacco is officially on the Cincinnati Bengals, and we have finally lifted the ban.
Yep. It's a pleasure to be able to say the words Cincinnati Bengals. It's been a long time.
It was hard the last few weeks holding back and not mentioning them because they are a polarizing team. They have some of the best players in the league on their roster. And to finally be able to just say their name again, it feels good. It's refreshing. And I'm excited to see what Joe can do for the receivers out in Cincy.
Yeah, I mean, anything, honestly, is better than whatever is doing. We should still censor his
terrorist.
Seriously.
We will censor that. You're right.
Yeah, he's been working with Al-Qaeda, clearly. He needs to go. Flacco's going to start right away. I mean, he's going to get 5 days with the playbook, and they're going to toss him in against Green Bay.
Yeah, they play us.
Wow. I mean,
not the greatest time to make this trade. I wish it was a little later, but
yeah.
Now I think this is the right trade. It's much better than where they had. I heard that they didn't even try to trade for Jameis, which to me is organizational malpractice, and they should still be punished for not even trying to get Jameis. But definitely going to make everyone better. My question to you is, like, how much better is it really going to be for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, though, as opposed to, what already been able to give them?
I'll say it'll keep the offense on the field longer than what Browning was doing. Flacco, in theory, will turn the ball over less, which is a win for everybody over there. I think their stats go up a little bit. I think it's a win. I mean, anything, again, is better than him. But I actually did want to share with you guys some insider information I got. Clearly we have voices within the league. They hear things.
This isn't the first time, guys.
Yeah. But I am actually hearing that the Cincinnati Bengals owner, as everyone knows, is a cheap man. And the only reason he traded for Joe Flacco compared to any other quarterback was so that he did not have to pay for a flight for that said quarterback to come to his team. He wanted a guy to be able to drive from Cleveland to Cincinnati, a really short drive. He only offered to cover half of the U-Haul and no gas coverage. What are your thoughts on this?
Cheap fuck, but we already kind of knew this. That guy, the Bengals organization is probably the most pathetic in all of sports. Like, I would much rather have Jerry Jones running my team than whatever the Bengals are doing over there. They hate their players. They hate paying their players. I don't even think they like having their players around on the team, to be honest. So yeah, what you just told me, really sad, honestly, really disappointing, but shocking. Can't say it is.
No, it's expected almost.
Expected, indeed. I also heard that's like part of the reason why I think they weren't interested in Jameis. Now, I don't know what Joe Flacco is making right now, to be honest, but I think Jameis's contract is like $3 million, and I'm pretty sure that cheap fuck just didn't want to pay $3 million, which is why they don't have Jameis on their team. So, really disgusting act over there in Cincinnati. Speaking of that, though, we have a question from Gooch Jesko this week. He said, how many bones will Joe Flacco break having to play behind the Bengals O-line? And if you were to set the line at over under 0.5, it would probably be minus 110 each side, because I think his old ass is gonna, he'll get him through some games, but at some point, his legs, you're gonna hear a crack and it's gonna be ugly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the most unfortunate part is I do think Jake Browning's going to see the field again at some point.
Yeah,
I mean, Joe Flacco's what, 42, 43.
yeah, old
Uh,
man.
Chase Brown hasn't even hit the line of scrimmage before being touched on any play this year. It's going to be a lot for him back there. It's going to be a lot.
What I just like, it's not a 100% solution, but Joe Burrow is supposed to be back apparently. It's just a matter of can Joe Flacco get them like 4 more wins this season
Yeah,
before he ultimately probably ends up paralyzed and on the IR.
yeah. No, it's can he be the bridge?
Let's
It's,
go through actually while we're kind of talking about this. Let's see who the Bengals play this season and, decide, go through each game and see whether or not they can get to. I think Joe Burrow's supposed to come through at like the end of this, like maybe with like 4 weeks to go, maybe three. Right now they sit at 2-3. They play at Green Bay this week. I mean, that's just a loss.
I mean, Joe Flacco's already beat Green Bay this year. Why not do it again?
Is that your real prediction?
I, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I'm just saying it's not a lock in any direction.
Brother, you're crazy. Next, they have Steelers coming to Cincy. I think that's a winnable game.
It is a winnable game. It's divisional. As long as they just don't turn that rock over again. I mean, I don't know.
Then they have the Jets and the Bears at home. I think they could easily split that, if not win both.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bye week for one of those games, and I mean, honestly, these days the Bears are looking a little better, but I still think it's a very winnable game.
Also, they play the Steelers like 2 of the next 5 weeks, and that's an auto split. So you might as well they might have like 3 wins here. Then they play the Pats. Then the Ravens without, well, actually, Lamar will be back, so that's
Yeah,
probably an L. And then
those
the
are two
Bills, that's
losses.
also an L. And then the Ravens again, probably an L. But if they can get to six wins, 7 wins maybe before the last 4 weeks of the season, they end the season with some absolute dog shitters on their schedule. They
Yeah,
have the Dolphins, Cardinals, and then the Bengals to end the year. This could be a playoff team.
yeah. I mean, it's this when you pull it up like that, LeWeather Man, it looks like it's set up for a Joe Burrow end of the season run. It's just about will Flacco sacrifice himself, and I think he will. Flacco mania is so back.
Flacco Mania's live. Jamar Chase Mania, we're live. I know James Richter was hype about that.
Yep.
It's a great day. It's honestly a great day to be a Jamar Chase owner. All right, let's get into more questions. We're gonna start from here, I think. And this was from Pedro from last week. He said he said we kind of brought it up last week, but he said could have been D1. Would love to hear some thoughts on the Shitter Sanders mime performance, as well as everybody eats offense versus force it to the wide receiver one philosophy on offense.
Yeah, that's great question, Pedro. I mean, my original thoughts on the Shadur's mime performance was, wow, this kid is really good at what he does. I mean, just the way his hand motions, the way he was mouthing some of those words, it looked like he's not been focused on football the last week. He's been focused on miming, and you can really see he's willing to do whatever it takes in that avenue.
The guy has always been an entertainer, and let's just say if his football career doesn't work out, this dude's clearly got a second career path ahead of
Yeah,
him. So
no, for
he's
sure.
got nothing to worry about there. To talk about the everybody eats versus force it to the wide receiver one philosophy, to be honest with you, I don't really think either is better than the other because you can look at teams like the Cowboys and maybe I'm wrong. The Bengals who like forced to Jamar Chase and forced to CeeDee Lamb and the Giants forced to Malik Neighbors. Um, I would say that they're doing decently. And then obviously I think this question spurs from like the Bills and when they got rid of Diggs versus now. And obviously the Bills look great, but they were great with Diggs as well. So I don't know how substantially different it really makes it, but
Yeah,
obviously some teams just don't react well to having a diva receiver.
yeah,
But you
yeah.
kind of need one of those, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with you on all that. I mean, the Bills in reality haven't. The only thing that's changed is Josh Allen wins the MVP now. But I mean, in terms of winning, they're doing just about the same thing they were doing with or without Stephon
Agreed.
Diggs. I'll tell you this: if I was a quarterback of the New York Giants and I had Malik Neighbors on my left, then I had on my right Jalen Hyatt, whatever his name is, Wendell Robinson, Darius Slayton. I'd give Malik Neighbors about 20 to 25 touches a
Yeah.
game. I mean, in there. there should be no everybody eats philosophy. But again, it's kind of case by case. I don't know if there's a directly better movement in the NFL right now.
I think what will actually have a good, this will be a good kind of bar for this is when Rashee Rice comes back with the Chiefs, because right now
Yeah.
they're just spreading it around because it's all just mid over there. So if when he comes back, if he's getting 10 to like 15 targets a game and their offense looks substantially better, I think we know that you need that wide receiver one on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I guess moving over to another question here. Well, actually, not a question, more so a statement. Our good friend OptimusSlime, Chef Boyer Slat, says Jackson Dart is the man. I have some things to talk about. And actually, now that we're on the topic, we're gonna phone in our good friend Optimus and see what he has to say about his man, Jackson Dart. Hey, Mr. Optimus Slime. This is Napoleon here. We are live with LeWeather Man, recording an episode of Could Have Been D1, and we're just pulling up your question here about or statement about Jackson Dart. You said Jackson Dart is the man, and you have a couple things to say about him. Optimus, what are those things?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to preface this interview where I'm in the car with a bunch of work colleagues on a conference up in North Montana. But I'm happy for the interview, and I'm going to continue with it anyways.
Let's go, man.
I just think that with Jackson Dart being the white boy of the year, undoubtedly, I think we need to raise his name in the banners already. I don't care about his skill of play. I think the fact that he posted Madison Beer on his story before playing Madison Beer's boyfriend and then proceeding to beat him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's MVP worthy. And I don't think he needs to play another game yet this year to decide that.
Yeah. No, I'm in full agreement with you. I mean the size of your balls to even pull something like that, to even think about pulling something like that. I mean, it's huge. So, Mr. Optimus, I guess my next question, you kind of led into it. With the movement from Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo, what does this do for white men across the country?
Hold on. Hey. This is a real interview. I'm getting sabotaged right now. It's a podcast. I'm getting interviewed by Coulda Been D1 podcast, bro. They're the biggest podcast this side of the Mason-Dixon. And please include that in the episode. Biggest podcast.
We will. We're live, actually.
The North. No, it's like part of my take, except it has like maybe 10 fewer listeners a month. Yeah, it's about that big. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting. Yes. So for white boys across the country, let me hold on, bro. I'm almost done with the interview. Okay, I got 1 minute. Exciting whites. Okay, we got another comment. Anyways, for white boys across the country with movement like Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo, I just think it really proves the point. You need a meathead in front, and then you need, the pretty boy thinker out back. And I've never seen a duo of exciting whites like this. What is the Eagles' exciting whites?
Cooper DeJean?
Yeah, Cooper
DeJean and
Blankenship, I think the safety.
Blankenship.
Boring.
Yeah.
See, look, we're discussing who the other exciting white was. Everyone knows Scatabo and Dart. Like that's like peanut butter and jellies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I hear you loud and clear.
Slime, these are great takes. And honestly, what you just said earlier, we appreciate that so much. I have one last question here. Is obviously Jackson Dart, he's putting the teams on notice. He's putting social media on notice. But does he have too much swag as a QB? And is that something that you can have, or are you happy with him how he is?
I feel like we've seen a few quirked up, swaggy white boys in our past. And a lot of them have blown to the wayside quite quickly. I'm going to be very interested to see if Jackson Dart can keep this up. I'm going to say that, yes, I think he can keep it up. I think he has the aura, the persona, whatever the kids are saying nowadays, to keep it up. However, time will tell. You know what I'm saying? He is in New York. I mean, that is vibe capital of the world. Can we say that?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Agreed.
Okay. So he's in New York. Vibe capital of the world. He is the vibe king of New York. I mean, can he keep this up for another year or two? I say yes.
All right, well, Mr. Optimus Slime, again, we appreciate you so much for your takes there. We actually have 5 less listeners than part of my take, but everything you said there. You were speaking our language.
Please don't fact check me as a man in government. Please don't fact check.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Optimus. We'll have him again on here shortly.
Slime, thanks so much.
Thank you both. Thank you both. Much love. Bye-bye.
What a great guy he is.
Yeah, no, that was just lovely.
He had a lot to say, and when he mentioned the numbers that he brought up, they are 100% factual. We are just below, pardon my take. If you check the Spotify charts, we're right below them, very close to the top. In my opinion, Jackson Dart is going to be a good QB at a rough game. I am, like I said, though, I asked the question. I am a little worried that, a white boy of that caliber with that much swag, is it going to be a detriment down the road, and can he keep that up?
It's tough. I mean, you know what they say, heavy is the head that wears a crown, and right now he has a crown. It's going to be heavy. I mean, only one white boy has ever had this heavy of a crown. I think that's LeBron James. So let's see what he can do.
Left me speechless there. I didn't know where to go with that.
Oh my
White
God.
boy? LeBron is quite dark in pigment, I believe.
Oh, dude, I'm just taken aback by the way Optimus just picked up that call ready to go.
Optimus, we might have to have you on more often. That was just spectacular. In the pressure of the moment to perform like that, that was peak Tom Brady shit to just pick up the call with the people chirping you in the background. Honestly, one of the best performances I've seen all year.
That's like when you're playing the new college football game. They got the stadium pulse on the right maxed out. You can't even see what routes you're running. You don't know what the play call is, but you just step up and make the throw.
Buddy was unbelievably calm under pressure.
Oh my
Stepped up and hit his targets well.
Then moving on to the next question here, from our good friend Joe Schmo. He says Trevor Lawrence has him completely fooled. He asks, is he the Tom Brady of Nathan Peterman's, or is he closer to the Nathan Peterman of Tom Brady's? LeWeather Man, the floor is yours.
Joe, we appreciate you as always in our replies. You are one of our top listeners, one of our top subscribers. I think this is a good question. I think he is closer to the Nathan Peterman, not of Tom Brady's though. I think he's the Nathan Peterman of Aaron Rodgers because he's obviously a little more mobile than Tom Brady. And everyone expects him to have this unbelievable arm talent, and then you watch him, and yeah, he'll have a couple good throws per game, but I feel like he's just so underwhelming as to what you expect. He had a really good Monday night. He did. He was dropping it in there on some of the plays, but then on others, it was just like, what is this guy doing? You never know what you're going to get out of him. I would maybe call him like the Mac Jones of Aaron Rodgers is. That would be my take.
Fair. Very fair. Yeah. I mean, he's shown the flashes of that X factor, real NFL QB dog, just barely we've seen it. He clearly doesn't have the crazy throwing arm. He doesn't make the I don't know, man. He's a weird guy. We've been talking about him a lot this year.
A lot.
He's one of our most talked about players on Coulda Been. So I'm sure we'll have more to say about him. But yeah, I would say, for your question alone, I would say closer to the Nathan Peterman of Tom Brady's than the Tom Brady of Nathan Peterman's.
And I think what it boils down to, like I said, is because he has high expectations. So that makes him automatically be more like a Tom Brady type. But then he's really just the most average dude on the field. He's like, if we were to do a QB ranking, actually, this is a good idea. While we're talking about it, Trevor Lawrence, I'm going to name just quarterbacks in the league, and you just stop me when you would rather have Trevor Lawrence over them.
Yeah,
okay?
You might go for a while.
Okay. Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels, Mac Jones, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, Daniel Jones. Who else is even out there? Joe Flacco.
I'll stop you right there. Just because Joe Flacco doesn't have the mobility that Trevor Lawrence does.
You would take Lawrence over Flacco?
I would. I was close at Mac Jones, but honestly, I haven't seen Trevor Lawrence with a perfect game like Mac had the other night.
We'll get into that. Mac Jones, that was some special stuff that we saw.
Very special, man.
All right, next we have the GOAT, Mr. Value Hawk himself. He said, Mrs. Hawk asked me the other day, who would win in a football game, all Alabama seniors or all NFL rookies? And he said, in parentheses, don't hold back. And I really don't think this is like that dumb of a question. I feel like this is a topic that literally everybody has ever debated at some point, especially when it
Yeah.
was like the 0-16 Browns versus the peak Alabama football team.
Mhm.
Now, the answer to this is obviously the rookies are going to win 100 times out of 100. They'll never lose because there's so many guys on the field. But I'm going to kind of manipulate this question to ask you, Napoleon. Is there a college team ever that could beat a bad NBA team?
A bad NBA team?
Like the 2015 Kentucky Wildcats
Oh,
versus the 2016 76ers that won, I think, 10 games.
yeah. It's a great question, and I would say, I would still say no. I would still say the NBA guys, just in terms of athleticism, just the stuff that they can do. They shoot the way they shoot the ball is just so much more consistent than what the
100%.
guys
Yeah.
are able to do at the college level. But a part of me wants to just say like coaching and heart would if you caught that NBA team in January when they've already only had 7 wins, they have no hope in their eyes. Basketball is a complete job to them. They're not doing it for fun. They don't get any enjoyment. I think Kentucky can go in there and beat that team if they played one game and they both knew what was at stake, the NBA team would win every time. But some of those NBA teams get so deflated by the end of it. I think Kentucky would probably be my number one thought of those teams.
Yeah, I think that Kentucky, and now this is like only that Kentucky team because there's not a lot of teams that would be able to compete ever.
No.
But that team could beat the one of the worst NBA teams one time out of 10. Like it would like you said, it would be have to be like rarely ever happen. But an NFL team will always beat a college team because it's 11 on 11 instead of 5 on 5. And when you just have that many more players that are better, like you're just not going to lose.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would love to see it. I would love to watch one of those games just so we could really, really see what's going on here.
And like I said, everyone's talked about this. So Mrs. Hawk, honestly, valid question. And go ahead and top off your boyfriend for me. He deserves it.
Yep. We'll be cheering for it.
All right, next we got a question from Pedro de Sac. He said, "Can we get a QB rankings by ethics or at least a top 5, bottom 5?" And yes, we can give you a top 5 and bottom 5. Let's start with actually the bottom 5 least ethical quarterbacks in the NFL. And I think number 1 least ethical would be Jalen Hurts.
And why would follow up with that? What's going on here with Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts is not an ethical quarterback. His receivers hate him. He uses his legs way more than he needs to. He doesn't trust his arm. He can't find his receivers when they're open. His average depth of target is very short. And finally, the one game where he threw for the most yards, his team lost. This guy is just not a hooper. I'm sorry.
I can hear what you're saying there. I can hear it.
Now, this is me ranting because I'm not a big fan of that guy, but you know how that goes.
Yeah. I would say following Jalen Hurts, I would have to put my boy, well, not my boy, actually, the guy over in Houston, Texas, who's getting bailed out by playing the Ravens practice squad last week, padding all of his stats. Not really good at football right now, sunning younger quarterbacks like Caleb Williams. You guys know I'm talking about CJ Stroud, also called by some CJ. I have to cut that out. But yeah, he's just not an ethical guy. And I'm talking about off the field. I just think he's a really horrible human being. That's really all I got to say about him.
Definitely don't disagree. Could you maybe go in a little deeper as to what you were just blurring out right there for the CJ nickname?
It's he was the leader of a group that was not really the most liked in history. They're kind of making a comeback these days. Not going to go any further.
All right, we don't have to go any further. That's fine. And now maybe these rankings aren't going to be exact, but we're going to still list the bottom 5. I think next there's a name right here, and he's going to have to get involved in this list, and that would be Kyler Murray.
Yep.
He is also one of the least ethical quarterbacks in the league. As you guys know, he's also, we talked about Trevor Lawrence. Kyler Murray's kind of right up there with guys we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
Because this is a hateful podcast. I don't know what to say. We like to hate. And Kyler Murray, again, if you ever see this, I'm going to be a pussy. I'm going to take back everything I said. But until then, you're fucking terrible, and you're also not ethical, and you're just a hard watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really good at throwing the football. in terms of running QB, he's not really great at running the football. So it's like, what are we really doing here?
Did you see the play this weekend where he like spun around twice in the pocket, then just flipped the ball 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage? We're gonna have to get that clip. I might edit that in.
Sounds like Kyler Murray experience.
It was a very hilarious play, and it was just a horrible watch. All right, next, who else would go in this bottom five?
Next, I would have probably roll over to. Oh, all right. I actually kind of forgot about this guy. I might have switched him out with CJ. But as you guys have seen the reports recently, Geno Smith is apparently blind, and they're still putting him at quarterback. Which I mean, I don't know about LeWeather. I don't know about you, LeWeather Man, but I think there's one position where you don't want to be blind for, and that's probably quarterback. So I think it is a little bit weird to have him playing quarterback. I don't know if you have anything else to say about this guy.
Oh, I have a lot to say. And it's not even at this point, I'm actually concerned about what the Raiders are doing every single week because the guy it's just unethical. It's an organizational problem at this point. It's not even a Geno Smith problem. The guy clearly cannot see, and yet they keep making him play quarterback. That's wrong. It's
No.
just not a good thing to do. It's morally incorrect. I can't believe the Raiders are allowed to get away with this, sending out a blind special needs QB every single week. And to the fans that have to watch it, to the Las Vegas Raiders fans, you should be just appalled that your ownership is going to continue to send a blind QB out there. It's so sad. And Geno Smith, just retire, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard enough to be blind, but why do you commit to being a blind quarterback every single week? Make it stop, guys. Just make it stop.
Yeah. To the people of Las Vegas, I would ask you this. I would ask you to stop whatever you're doing. I would ask you to park your cars. I would ask you to grab your loved ones and march to your state's capital with signs, with pitchforks, protests. There's strength in numbers. And ask the Las Vegas owner, what does Geno Eugene Smith have against him? Does he have files against him? Is he blackmailing him somehow? Because that's the only explanation I have for what's going on.
It's disgusting. Lastly, to round out this bottom five, and now he just got replaced, as we all know. But I think that's going to get blurred, is going to have to round out this list. That is probably the worst quarterback I've seen all season. I cannot believe that the Cincinnati Bengals, who we're allowed to talk about again, kept him in there for as long as they did. He's awful.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about Travis Hunter all year. Everyone in the NFL has. I hope that's blurred again. Turn Jamar Chase into Travis Hunter. There's two guys that are really good at defense, Micah Parsons as well as Chris Jones. Jamar Chase has more solo tackles than both.
You can't have that.
Jamar Chase plays wide receiver. There's serious problems going on in Cincinnati.
Makes you think, though, if Jamar Chase wanted to, could he become a safety in the NFL and like a decent one? I think he probably could.
Yeah, I mean, he's got
good ball skills.
He looks pretty compact. He could probably lay the boom.
All right, now for the top five most ethical QBs in the league, I would say the guy at the top of this list, I think he's right in there. Matt Stafford is definitely one of those guys for sure.
No, I mean, for sure. He was born to throw the football. He throws it to his guys, especially. That's to go back to that thing that Pedro DeSac was bringing up. Matt Stafford will get it to his stars all the time, and luckily he has two of them with Puka and Devontae. It's pretty ethical right there. Get it to the best player. Get it there the right way.
He's the number one get it to your guy quarterback. He's probably, if Puka keeps up what he's doing, he will have produced the top three receiver seasons in NFL history. So Matt Stafford is Mr. Get It to his guys.
Yeah, wow. I didn't even think about that.
Next, I think right here, Baker Mayfield is also in that top five ethical QBs. That guy just slings the ball all over the field. We're going to bring it up again. Oscar said last week that Emeka Buka is the wide receiver one. I don't know about in the league, but certainly on the Bucs, that guy is incredible, and he plays like an 8-year vet.
Yeah, dude. Guy is just also a natural football player. Does all the right things. Always there for you. Always available for his quarterback. Not a rookie at all. Just not a rookie.
And Baker slinging it to him is entertainment week in and week out. The Bucs are potentially the most fun team in the league right now.
Yeah.
They play only fun games.
Dude, their offense is unbelievable. And speaking of offenses, another quarterback that fits the ethical criteria, I got to go with the guy over in Dallas. Dak Prescott. He's playing it the right way right now. He's spreading out the rock, doing the opposite of what Matt Stafford is doing. Pickens is getting it. Ferguson's getting it. Random guys like Tolbert and Turpin are even getting the rock. CD when he was there. Dak is just really good at football, and I've been trying to say the opposite for years, but now I can't
Same.
deny it. He's just really good at it.
I'm 100% on the same page with you. Dak is like a guy who has caught a lot of slack in his career. Part of it playing for the Cowboys, and part because he's just underperformed in big moments. This year, he's been spectacular. I'm interested to see what Dallas can do because their defense is utter dog shit, but Dak is just such a fun guy. He gets his guys the ball, but he spreads the ball, and he's definitely ethical QB. He loves throwing that ball down the field.
Indeed.
Next, this might be a biased take, but I think Jordan Love is one of the most ethical QBs in the league. He is the epitome of a gunslinging QB, and he will throw the ball down the field.
He is a gunslinger, man.
Guys like, I don't know, Jared Goff and Bo Nix, CJ Stroud, like you said, I feel like they're taking a lot of that underneath stuff, and that's like all they'll do. Jared Goff, he is good. Guy throws to the most overpowered offense in NFL history. So like I'll always have a little slack for Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Jordan Love will throw the ball deep 4 times a game into guys that are double covered, and you just gotta respect that as a QB.
He does not shy away from that.
No.
He sees them and he has that internal tick, his conscious right over his shoulder, just saying, throw that football. And he listens to it and he throws that football.
He's got the devil on his shoulder and he will listen to it. All right, Napoleon, who would round out this top 5 then for you?
I would have to go with Bryce Young after a quarter of football.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
After one quarter, Bryce just does the right things. He extends plays. He converts on 3rd and 4th down. He throws the ball down the field. He just does all the right things. He wins games. He comes back. He gives you hope as a fan. All the right things. All the things you want to see out of your guy. Before the end of the first quarter, I had nothing to say for him. He also is kind of Geno Smith, except only for a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd give Bryce that last slot.
Down 20, Bryce Young is potentially the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
And that throw he had to Leggett in the end zone this week was like a top 3 throw I've seen all year. That was some Aaron Rodgers shit.
Talk about 2 guys who needed something that day. I mean, Leggett no one really keeps up with the Panthers fandom, but they were eating him alive. He needed a touchdown more than anyone. I'm glad that him hanging out with Glorilla didn't get in the way of his game. That was beautiful to see.
Dude, it's probably because, we'll call back to the other episodes, you get a baddie under your arm and you're gonna start hooping.
Right, it is true.
That's how shit happens.
It does play.
And Glorilla, good music, nice ass. All right, we got a question from Napoleon himself. He said, could Prime Ray Lewis save this Ravens JV defense?
That's a great question, Napoleon. I'd say right now, no.
No.
I mean, I think 2 good starters would not help this Ravens defense. There's a multitude of issues. Guys aren't playing, first of all. Guys are not healthy. The D tackle might have a career-ending injury. Kyle Hamilton's dealing with something. I think a couple of corners are. You can just basically run the football freely against them, which is never going to win you games. Never. They're now down 1-4. It's gonna be a tough uphill battle for that team.
Yeah, they're as good as Ray Lewis is at killing people. They're not 1 player away. They're like 6. That team is awful. There's a reason that quarterbacks and offenses keep having their season high totals versus this team. That defense is atrocious. It's really sad to watch.
Yeah.
And with Lamar I think this is actually a good question I have for you. I think I was going to bring it up later. I'll talk about it now. Who is more valuable to their team, Lamar to the Ravens or Joe Burrow to the Bengals?
Wow. But if before this season, I would have said Lamar 10 out of 10 times and been done with it. But after seeing the collapse of Cincinnati and seeing Joe Burrow playing basically as good as a quarterback can play last season, didn't get them into the playoffs, got them a couple wins, got guys some stats, but with him out of there, I mean, they're one of the biggest jokes in football. I mean, they can't run the ball, they can't pass the ball. They have no offense, they have no defense. The whole program is shit. They're clowns. So I'd probably go with Joe Burrow. He's keeping that team afloat. And the Ravens actually, the year Lamar was hurt, still made the playoffs with Snoop Pro Bowler Huntley at quarterback. So yeah, I'm going Joe there, LeWeather Man.
Yeah, I think that you watch there's a reason that the Bengals, we weren't allowed to talk about them for a while
Yeah.
because they were so atrocious without Joe Burrow that they weren't even worth our time to speak about. So I agree with that, but as long as Lamar is out for the Ravens, we're gonna really see how bad that team can get.
Yeah. Napoleon, to go back to your question, I would actually turn this back to you and say, if Ray Lewis was able to kill 3 of the opposing players every week and then play defense for the Ravens, I would say maybe he could save them. But
So a little
otherwise,
like 8 on 11.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say, yeah, I wouldn't even, yeah, I'll say 8 to 7 to 8 on 11.
Okay. Yeah, I still think it'd be a good game.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be competitive.
All you need is like 2 receivers against all those D-backs, and you will be fine because they're. I gotta bring this up. Jair, man, that is a sad watch. We brought it up earlier, but
Green Bay won that situation is all I gotta say.
damn. All right, last we kind of have a two-parter. We got one from James Richter. He said, "How does the Joe Flacco trade affect Drake London's fantasy outlook?" And then a follow-up related to this from LeWeather Man. He said, "Does this mean Shadur is 1 injury away?" So the Joe Flacco trade affecting Drake London's fantasy outlook. Not really sure the correlation there.
Here's what I'll say for you, Joe. I had to dig really deep to answer this question. It's a tough one. I mean, this is real tough. And my conclusion is yes. And my reasoning is Jake Browning was the worst quarterback in the league before this, and I think Michael Penix was the next worst. So now Michael Penix goes to the worst in the entire football league, which means backs against the wall. He could be removed at any point, which in turn means he has to step it up a little bit, which in turn means he has to get it to his best wide receiver. So yes, I think this does help Drake London's fantasy outlook, but not by enough because Michael Penix is still ass.
I like what you did there. That was yeah, I don't know how you came to those conclusions, but I fuck with that.
Yeah. You got to think outside the box sometimes.
And then does this mean Shadur is 1 injury away? You're goddamn right it is.
Yeah.
And we're going to beat racism. We're going to get that man in there.
Yep. And if he focuses on football and not in his miming career, that day will be pretty cool.
Like we said, hey, if it doesn't work out though, one of the most talented mimes I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
So that was the questions for this week. We appreciate them as always, guys. And we want to bring up that we are now going to start a drawing. Every single comment you have per week will be 1 point for your score. And at the end of the year, we're going to do a raffle of all the points people amassed. And the winner gets a Coulda Been D1 t-shirt.
Yep. And I think these shirts are going to be pretty sweet. We love what you guys are doing in the comments section. I mean, it means the world to us. It gives us great content to give back to you. So we're really happy to give back in any way possible. And I'm excited to see. I think Pedro de Sac is going to be up there for sure. He's runaway favorite right now, but this will not be a rigged raffle by any means. So you get your names in the raffle and you have a shot at a really cool shirt.
Joe, James, Base God,
yep.
Pedro, you guys are running the show right now, and we're super excited to bring that to you. We got some designs coming. It's going to be heat.
Yep.
All right, guys, thank you so much. And we are now going to get into the NFL recap for last week. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, now for the moment everyone's wanted, we are going to do a live ranking of Napoleon ranking QBs that are allowed to date his daughter. And we're going to do an updated list this week. We're going to see what we want to change. But hey, Napoleon, you take over. You do what you want. Starting with QB1 in the league, CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, we're gonna take CeeDee Lamb here. I mean, he's been out for a couple weeks here. We're gonna just not talk too much about it. These are the words I would say verbatim. Are you fucking kidding me? Whatever my daughter's name is. Don't bring this blank into my blank. You blank.
Real.
Yep.
Didn't move.
Yeah,
no change to CeeDee.
He's staying right there. Once he touches some grass again, I might have some changed opinions, but for now, we're gonna keep him right where he needs to be.
All right.
And then I'm gonna switch it up to a positive note here. My knight in shining armor, the legendary Indiana Jones. He's not moving a muscle. Abso-fucking-lutely. Again, I'm getting emotional just thinking about seeing him walking down that aisle. Joy in my family. I mean,
can't wait for that day. It's gonna be beautiful.
Sorry, got to lock back in here. And honestly, a guy here who this is gonna be our first move of the week. He stepped up like a hero. And honestly, the hair is growing on me. We're gonna go with Trevor Lawrence up to a maybe tier. It's just the way he fell over and then still scored the game-winning touchdown. It gave me hope. It just made me think when my daughter stumbles and falls, he's gonna be there to pick her up. He's gonna be there to still do whatever he's got to do for the family. So he's moving up to that maybe tier.
Good family man. Good
Yep.
Christian family man. You need that.
Yep. And Justin Fields here, not going to say much. With music, keep the door open. Justin, don't ever fucking close that door. All right? You hear me? You play the music, do whatever you want to do. Don't ever fucking close that door. All right?
You close that door, you're out the fucking house, buddy.
Yep. I mean, I'm grabbing him by the collar and tossing him out the door. And then he's gonna find a way to run for 95 yards because that's what he does. And then over to Joe Burrow. Joe, your team needs you. Flacco's stepping up. It just makes me think, if he's dating my daughter, is some guy like Flacco gonna come in and take her away? Probably. So honestly, I don't even want to deal with that whole shebang. We're gonna put you at no.
Oh, downgraded. He was oh wait. I guess he was still at no.
Yeah.
We got the fuck no above the no. I think that was an error on my part, but we'll rock with it. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, we'll keep him there. Cam Ward, you got to win. Cam Ward, you didn't do anything to really move the needle in that win. If you're going to get pulled along by your comrades and you're going to just be dragging the team down, I don't want that in my family. Here in this Napoleon family, we do the dragging, so I'll be fucking damned if you step foot in my household.
No movement for Cam. That's
Nope.
a tough one to watch.
And then your counterpart, CJ Blank. Just get right where you belong in there.
What could the blank mean? Go ahead and guess in the comments, guys.
Yeah. Use asterisks, please. We don't want to get banned. Kirk, you haven't touched the field yet. Michael Penix, he hasn't done much. You still haven't touched the field. He's a good family guy. He's a Christian, man of faith, strong will. You're gonna get an upgrade this week, Kirk. We're gonna keep you with the door open. Or wait, was he?
He might have been absolutely.
He was at absolutely. Toss him back up there. No, we're keeping him at the door open. Keep the door open. You get the music on.
It's your daughter, but I just want you to consider one thing with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
It's that he has $400 million in the bank. Does that change anything?
Yes.
Big changes.
Kirk, let's just say I could really use a boat right now, Kirk.
Low key, Kirk, could you slide us a 20? Like, we just need a 20.
Yeah, just let me hold $1 even. Come on, Kirk.
Let me hold $1.
Let me hold something. Bo. Oh, Bo. I don't even know where you were before. But something about you. You beat the Eagles this week.
Fuck with you, Bo, for that. I fuck with you, Bo.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just.
Bo's an interesting guy.
He kind of looks like Zach Wilson. And that just reminds me of him MILF hunting. And I don't want him touching my girl. No one gets in between me and my girl. All right, Bo? So fuck no. Get out of here, man.
Before we get into the last one, a question about Bo Nix is that you have quite a long name. Is Bo Nix too short of a name to be trusted? 5 letters in your full name?
I'm glad you brought that up. It's sussing me out. I'm honestly getting a little scared even just thinking about that. 5 letters?
Total?
We got to be better as a people. It makes me question, like, is he?
That's a caveman name.
Yeah, is Bo Nix a Neanderthal? Like, I don't really know what's going on.
Can't trust this fucker.
You know what? Get out of here, Bo. Go back to the CD Lamb. Go back to where you came from, Bo. All right. Oh, man, good save there.
Yeah, it's something to think about.
Yeah.
Bo Nix.
Imagine, and then my daughter would be then have the last name Nix. I didn't even take any of this into account.
I don't like that.
We're gonna incorporate that into next week. But our new QB that we're adding to the list, via Pedro de Sac. And guys, in the comments below, you can add some QBs that you want me to grade. We got Tua. How do you even say this?
Turn the ball over.
Turn the ball over. He didn't turn the ball over much against Carolina.
Actually looked pretty sharp.
Yeah, he did. For the first half, he looked like prime Joe Montana, Steve Young. And honestly, the fact that you let us beat you, It does good in the Napoleon family department. It does some really good things. But your decision-making skills, you're probably gonna die young. No offense.
He is.
And I just don't want to have to clean up the emotional damage with my daughter. For that reason, turn the ball over. Fuck no. Don't step foot in my house right now.
That looks like a solid list. I would agree with, Tua, probably a good guy, but you're going to have to be taking care of him when you're an old man. And I just don't know if you want to be taking care of your father-in-law like that when he's.
No.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
we're praying for you, buddy.
you know what I want to do when I'm older? I want to hang out on Kirk Cousins' boat. That's what I
Hey,
want to do. 400 milli. Kirk, you're welcome anytime.
All right, I'm gonna get a little graphic. Stop me if you want. But imagine you walk in and your daughter's getting tagged. Your daughter's getting tagged team by Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins. What do you do?
There's a burner side of me that really wants to answer this question in the most graphic way possible.
Yeah.
There's also the ethical side of me. Part of me almost said I would just go in there, get him a Gatorade, tell him keep up the good work.
Get him a towel, wipe the sweat. Well, we're not gonna do that.
No, we're not. We're not gonna get into any of that. I would, just close the door and probably never bring it up with her ever again. I'd probably just go hang out on the boat and turn the music really loud with Justin Fields in the other room.
Good answers all around.
Yeah, but that's my updated QB list, guys. Again, comment below who you want me to add to this week's list.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. All right, guys, now getting into the recap of the Week 5 NFL games. We had a good slate. It was pretty crazy. A lot of crazy games. But starting off with the Thursday night game, we had the 49ers playing the Rams. And the question I have is Brock Purdy a system QB or is Mac Jones him?
I'm going to go with Brock is a system guy. It pains me to say it, though. I really want to say Mac is the truth. But just because Kyle Shanahan has been known as such a great coach, and whoever has been in makes it work with whoever else is in, and this is true time and time again. So for that reason, I'm going to say Brock is part of the system, and Mac is also, in turn, part of that system.
I'm also a Brock Purdy guy now. We've talked about it before. I used to be a hater, but he made a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. He made a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. And I think if the 49ers could stay healthy, I almost think he could make a Super Bowl with Mac Jones.
It's not a crazy thing to say, LeWeather Man. Not at all.
I don't like Kyle Shanahan, but that's also because I just fucking hate everything about the 49ers and what they've done to me in my life. So that's probably why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really just think Brock Purdy's probably a system QB. I think he's serviceable. And if they got rid of him, he'd probably still be better than a lot of the QBs in the league. But you go to the 49ers and you're going to get some numbers and you're going to look way better than you probably are.
Yeah, agreed. And then we are moving over to game 2. We had the Vikings versus the Browns over in London. The question is Jordan Addison the best wide receiver 2 in the National Football League?
And I have a follow-up question about Jordan Addison, and it's that what woman was he seeing in London that caused his suspension? Because why did he not play in the first quarter? What was he doing out in London? Was he getting some box? Who knows?
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I think he's right up there with T. Higgins and George Pickens. I don't know if you count Jalen Waddle anymore now that Tyreek's gone, but I think I would take him over T. Higgins, and I think I would take him over George Pickens as well.
Wow. I guess he's been 1,000-yard receiver. So yeah, I think he's right up there in the mix. I put him neck and neck with both of them. George Pickens is really good at football right now. And then also to kind of answer your question about what woman he was seeing, I'm going to assume it's a really, really, really curvy woman based on a couple things. First, you know how pro athletes are.
Yeah.
Second, this is the Jordan Addison who was already suspended 3 games this year for, I think it was maybe a DUI, something of the sorts. He's already on thin ice, as our Caucasian folk like to say. And then he went on top of that and did this. So I'm assuming it was a lot of bunda.
He's walking on some thin ice, buddy. But yeah, he's a dog. I do think that you're right about George Pickens. When George Pickens isn't raging and being a wild boy, that boy can play some football.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
For sure.
All right, moving over to Raiders versus Colts. And Again, kind of talked about it earlier, but should the Raiders be expelled from the league for employing a blind QB? It's ethically wrong.
Yeah, the answer is yes, yes, and yes for sure. It's horrible.
More about this game. The Colts are just a fucking juggernaut, dude.
Dude, they're serious. They're serious. They're here to play. I took them as a joke before the season started on defense side of the ball, but that defense is legit.
DJ, I think FanDuel dropped the top 10 odds for MVP. Or maybe it was just like their own rankings, and Daniel Jones came in at 10, and I think that's just way off.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're taking the names into account when they're doing that.
100%.
But they should just start looking at the numbers and what's really going on here. He should be a lot higher. I'd put him at the 3 to 4 range.
They also got JT over there, who is right up there for like offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
The Colts, very fun team. The Las Vegas Raiders, say goodbye to your standing in the league, because what you're doing to Geno Smith, sending out a blind QB, it's wrong.
Yeah, and then enough about those bums. To move on to the Giants, New York Giants versus the New Orleans Saints. What team is Kamara getting traded to? There are a lot of options for him right now, honestly.
He's definitely getting traded, but I've heard a lot of speculation that he might go to the Chiefs, and I just don't think that's what the Chiefs need. I think they need somebody a little more explosive than what Kamara brings.
Yeah.
Kamara's obviously probably the best receiving back in the league, and he has been for a while, but I don't think he has like the burst that he once did. I could definitely see him going to a team maybe like who's competing in the league right now.
Cardinals are an option for some running back.
Cardinals, sure. I almost think he's going to go to a better team than that, though, because it's going to be a team that wants to buy him for the playoffs. Honestly, maybe like the Steelers.
Yeah.
Or the Ravens need another running back. It looks like Henry's kind of running it down. I don't know. I think he'd probably just go to the AFC, because I think that's what like teams like to do, is flop side of the league. But yeah, dude's definitely getting traded for sure.
That's a lock. Fantasy owners, if you have Kamara, hold him. If you don't have Kamara, try to buy low while you can, because he's going to be useful down the line.
For sure.
Yeah.
He always gets that trade boost too. Once he knows he's on a different team, he's going to start hooping again. Next, good question I have is that, and this was the Cowboys versus the New York Jets. Is Justin Fields the best bad quarterback of all time?
He is up there. I mean, to go back to the Nathan Peterman thing, he might be the Tom Brady of Nathan Peterman's. If you looked at Justin Fields' stats this year, the Jets as a whole, and didn't actually look at the box score, you would think, oh, this is a great team. They're playing well. Justin Fields isn't turning it over. He's scoring touchdowns. He's running a lot. He looks good, but he's still not really that great at football. He's not gonna go get you over the hump ever. But he's really good for a bad quarterback.
Justin Fields is like a guy. He's like the Lamar Jackson of. No. Let me try that again. Way off there. He's like the Tyler Huntley of Lamar Jackson's.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good comparison, actually.
He's gonna get his stats. He's gonna make a lot of plays, and then you look at the score, and they're down 20 every single game, and it's like, And this has been his whole career, so you really got to wonder. The guy's got all the talent in the world, but why are they always so bad at whatever team he's on?
Yeah. You said he has all the talent?
I think he has the talent. I just don't think he has the ability is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, I guess another question to add on top of this is of the NFL quarterbacks, has Justin Fields been dealt the worst hand? I mean, like on both teams he's been on, there's been some pretty shitty hands, pretty terrible coaching situations, pretty terrible rosters. I mean, it's just never been the greatest spot.
Yeah, he was on the Bears, who are a known QB killer, and then he goes to the Jets, who are even more of a known QB killer, with a stop the Steelers along the way. And I'm going to go do a little flashback to last season. I don't think it was fair that they benched him for Russell Wilson.
No.
I think that completely derailed anything the Steelers had last year.
Yeah, he was building momentum. He was winning games. He didn't really do much wrong. Then they put in Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited, who is time in the league is running really short.
Yeah.
That guy sucks. Moving over to the Broncos versus the Eagles. My question to you is, isn't it ironic the game that Hurts throws for the most yards, they lose?
It is a little bit ironic, and I know this adds fuel to the Jalen Hurts haters' fire.
Yes, it does.
It is ironic. plain and simple. But I just want to say that this is like his first loss in 19 straight games, 18 straight. He can still throw that football. AJ Brown, finish your routes, buddy. If you're gonna go on a mic and complain, finish your routes.
I totally agree with that. And now let me just preface something. A lot of my Jalen Hurts, I'm a man. I can admit these things. A lot of my Jalen Hurts hate results in the fact that I'm jealous of what he is. I'm jealous of what he's accomplished in the league, and I'm jealous that he keeps beating the Packers. Now, with that said, fuck that guy, and your time in this league's running short, buddy. You're on thin ice, buddy.
Yep. And then pivoted to the Miami versus Carolina game. Huge win for the guys in blue. The question is, now that Rico Dowdle has defeated the too high safety, does that cement him as the greatest running back of this generation?
Now, as you guys all know, because we all know this, when you have the two eye safety, it's really hard to make the pass. You got to run. It's just it causes a whole lot of problems. But the way I saw Rico running on Sunday, going up for 200 yards, is
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle the most random 200-yard rusher ever? I was like gonna say that, and now that I think about it, like there's got to be just somebody way more random out there that hit 200.
Yeah. He's pretty random. Rico Dowdle, I mean, I love the Panthers. I would have taken out everything I have on a loan and bet that Rico Dowdle was under like 160 against Miami. Even though Miami's the worst run defense, that does not make sense.
I mean, I don't know what his line was, but I can't imagine his rushing prop was any more than like 60 yards.
Yeah, no.
He had some bursts though, dude. He was running
He
crazy.
was running hard. He looked good. I mean, the blocking was there, and he had 164 yards after contact. That alone would have been the week's leading rusher.
Yeah. I gotta say, him just wearing the number 5 in that Carolina blue, like bro was looking good.
He was looking good.
He had that shit on, dude.
He looked really fast. He looked like he was breaking tackles. The first 4 weeks, I did not see any of that out of him. It might have been the rest of the squad. It might have been the terrorism of Bryce Young. But
could be.
he looked good. I just wanted to also give a shout out to our loyal fan, Ty Montgomery. Lover, or is it Lover? Yeah.
Montgomery Burner, maybe.
Ty Montgomery Burner, who was a huge Rico Dowdle fan earlier in the season, as we all remember. I'm sure has different thoughts now.
I tweeted at Ty on Sunday. I said, "Forgive him." He said he was wrong. He admitted it.
Yeah,
it's a manly thing to do. We
Very
appreciate
manly.
that. Rico Dowdle, stud. Moving over to Texans versus Ravens. My question was related to the Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson thing, but I'm gonna pivot and go with: is this a fluke game for CJ Stroud, or did he finally find something and can he turn it around this year?
It is a fluke game. He can't turn it around this year. He's not good at football.
Not gonna lie, that was a total setup. I knew you were gonna say that. And no, it was 100% a fluke game. Everyone throws 4 touchdowns versus the Ravens, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're not special. So, CJ Stroud, fuck you.
And then moving on to the Tennessee Titans versus the Arizona Cardinals. Was that Cardinals picking to the end zone fumble the funniest play of the season?
That was like something right out of fucking Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I mean, you could have played that clown music in the background while that was going
That's
on.
actually I'm surprised I haven't seen that on Twitter yet. That would be a perfect that was the dude catches the pick, falls on the ground, fumbles the ball, they kick it into the end zone, and the Titans score a touchdown, leading to the first win of the season. And this was like, I think, right after Emery DeMarcado fumbled the ball at the 1-yard line. Like, the Cardinals, my God, what a shit program over there.
Yeah, I mean, as a Cardinals fan, I don't even know what I would do. Something would get broken.
100%.
I'm sure there's a couple in Phoenix, as we speak, handling the divorce papers due to that Sunday outrage from said husband.
We do not support domestic violence in the slightest.
Nope.
But with that said, I would like to see the statistics on... Might be blurring some of that.
There'll be stats on the screen immediately.
we will find the stats for this and the amount of calls to the police for domestic disturbance in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area.
Yep.
All right, moving over to the Buccaneers versus Seahawks game, one of the best games of the year. Again, like the Buccaneers continue to do. My question is, which of these teams will go farther in the playoffs? Because I want to say both are going to make it.
Yeah, I can agree on that. They're two really good systems, two good quarterbacks. I'm going to go with the Bake Show simply because I think this is probably the best offense in the league when healthy. We still haven't seen Mike Evans in here with the other guys. Bucky Irving's out, and they're still dropping 38 points. I think that can get you a long way.
The Buccaneers are serious contenders. They're scary contenders. They're going to have a home playoff game as opposed to the Seahawks, who probably won't just because they play with the Rams and they play with the Niners in that division. I think both teams are going to make it, and they might even play each other again. Now that I think about it.
I mean, that'd be must-watch TV.
100%. Yeah, Sam Darnold throws an incredible ball. Baker Mayfield is the most fun QB in the league.
Yeah. Now,
Cinema, and did you see the jerseys they had this weekend?
Yeah.
My God, man. What a perfect game for us to watch.
Literally. I mean, surely there couldn't be a team in this league that had both of these quarterbacks, both these talented quarterbacks on their roster and let them walk for nothing.
Never.
Surely.
Never happened.
That did not happen.
Sure.
These guys are too good.
Dude, there's no way that they would have had either of these QBs line up as a D tackle in practice.
No.
There's just no way.
Yeah, they're too good at throwing the rock, right?
Who would do that?
No.
All right, anyways, moving on to Lions versus Bengals. All right, guys, like we said, now that the boycott is finally lifted and we can say the Cincinnati Bengals again, just an easy one. How is this going to impact the Bengals, and what can we expect out of Joe Flacco?
I think hope is what we can expect in Cincinnati. I think a lot of play action. That's what he makes a living on, is that play action. I think Jamar Chase will be a little bit happier, and I think T. Higgins will catch some touchdowns.
The question we could also really ask is, like, how many wins can Joe Flacco get before he ultimately becomes paralyzed behind that O-line? Time will tell, but I'm excited. I think everyone is, because it's an automatic upgrade.
I also have a take here. I think Joe Flacco's been a guy who said he wants to play until he literally can't. I think 1 year behind that Cincinnati O-line will change that, and I think Joe Flacco will retire at the end of the season no matter what.
Wow. Oh, they're going to force him into retirement for sure, yeah.
That body's going to be aching.
Go be a family man, Joe, but we did appreciate what you've done in this league for sure.
And then headed out to the Commanders versus Chargers game. The question here is, when are the Commanders going to make Bill the bell cow?
It's time. If it's already wasn't this weekend, it's time. They need to be giving that guy 15 plus carries a week. He's electric.
I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards on the ground. He looked good. He looked really
good. So good. Rocks that jersey well. Got the swag. Sweet name. Sweet nickname. Smooth runner. Wow, I'm really on his dick crazy.
Yeah, just riding it.
Might go spit on it too a little bit. Bill, you're fucking him though, and I did. Let me rate my trade. All right, we're gonna do a new segment. It's called Rate My Trade. 2 weeks ago, I traded Emeka Egbuka for Bill. And now I saw the future. I was thinking Emeka was gonna fall off at some point. I did. And I have excess receivers. This is all context we got to put into this. I was lacking running backs. But I traded Bill for Emeka Egbuka. At the time, it probably looks stupid. But what do you think the outlook will be rest of the year?
You had Egbuka and you traded him for Bill.
I did do that.
I think if Bill does what he did last week every week, and the Commanders are going to be a good offense, it's a chill trade. It's not a win. It's a chill, 50-50 trade. I think I would regret making that move, and I think you'll probably regret making that move. But I like the idea a little bit.
I instantly regretted making that move, actually. But I just had, a little bit of faith in Bill now after that week he had. He was fantastic. And I think, with Eckler being out, I think he's going to be playing like 80% of the snaps.
Oh, my gosh. I completely forgot. Back to the Kamara question. The team that I think he's going to be traded to is the Washington Commanders.
Fuck.
I completely forgot that.
Damn, bro. Yeah, I think you could be right about that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, moving over to the Sunday night game of the week. We had the Pats versus the Bills. And my question is, did Drake May Lover on Twitter, one of the most elite accounts, pleasure himself after the game?
Yeah, LeWeather Man, I think he didn't even grab the lotion. He was in just such a hurry. I think he did it with 2 hands right there on the spot, recliner. I'm sure whoever was at home that day would just sat there with complete disgust because he couldn't help it.
The adrenaline going through his body after that game. I mean, Drake May put on a fucking show.
Yeah.
That guy's a stud.
He looked like a superhero out there.
He was putting the ball on the money. Beating Josh Allen in Buffalo is not an easy task. No. Basically, the only guy that can do that is Patrick Mahomes. So I'm just going to say a bold take. I think Drake May might be the next Patrick Mahomes.
Wow. We will circle back to that take for sure.
Nah, that was kind of trolling. But, dude, it's just so fucking Boston luck, Pat's luck to just luck into this fucking elite ass QB again.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous what Boston sports fans get to deal with. Fuck you guys, man. You have it made every single year.
We don't support the Patriots on this podcast.
We do not.
Then moving over to the Monday Night Football game, we had the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. My question for you is, did Trevor Lawrence just realize that he has the Heisman wide receiver on his team?
Travis Hunter was special in that game, I will say. You see the play where he mossed those two guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Travis Hunter is special. I think that it's because he's a product of what Colorado was. Like him and Shedeur are going to get more hate than any other player just because of what they did in college. Travis Hunter's a stud. Like, I don't know why we're acting like he's not. The guy's elite, and he has insane ball skills. Mm-hmm. Travis Hunter that was his homecoming or breakout game, whatever you want to say. He's going to make some noise this year for sure.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to get the ball rolling for them.
By the way, the Jags need to make those jerseys. They had their full-time jerseys. Yeah. Those are so elite.
They were so clean, man. There was a video of Travis Hunter taking a picture with some lady he met on a flight, and she was wearing their normal jerseys and he was wearing the new ones, so you got a side by side. His was so much cooler than hers was. So much cooler.
The Jags throwbacks they have are right up there with like the Buccaneers throwbacks and the Seahawks throwbacks. They're so elite. Yeah. They need to be the full-time jerseys. And I want to bring up one thing because this is the #1 accessory podcast in the U.S.
Yep.
But have you seen the players bringing back the breast cancer pink like cleats and stuff?
So elite, man. It's beautiful to see, dude. It brings you back to your childhood. Everything was good when you saw pink in October.
Dude, it's a good cause, and it just looks so sick out there when they wear that stuff. So
yeah,
let's go. Keep that up. They need to bring back the bow that they had like on the field and stuff, dude. Bring back the breast cancer pink. It's a good cause and it's sick.
I like it.
Accessories, we love those. All right, thank you guys. All right, that is the recap of this week's games. Now we are going to get into the video version, the live version of Napoleon updating the QB dating daughter list. We hope you guys like this. It'll be something new. Thank you guys. What's up, guys? This is going to be the Could Have Been D1 baseball segment. Maybe one of the only times we ever do this, but we're Brewers fans. We got to talk about it. Right now, it is Thursday, and the Brewers and the Cubs are playing Game 4. I'm freaking out. I was at the game last night. They lost. Every time I go to Wrigley, the Brewers lose. It breaks my heart. Those first 2 games are electric. I think it's time to start talking about Jackson Trio being the greatest player of all time. And I'm like only half trolling when I say that because he's actually that good. This is like one of the most fun Brewer teams ever. Unfortunately, I think we all know when we play the Dodgers, it's over. But I'm enjoying the moment now. I love Christian Yelich. I love Jackson Trio. Mizorowski's electric again. Freddie Peralta is the GOAT. I'm ready to see him pitch tonight. I think we get it done tonight. But if not, this is going to be a classic Brewers meltdown and heartbreaking game like it always is. But I love the Brewers. I hope they get it done this year. World Series tickets are $1,500. I was thinking they'd be like $800, maybe $500. I was way off there. It makes sense, though, because we haven't been in 40 years. But let's go Brewers. Let's get it done. And let's talk about the Badgers, too. Just kidding, we're not. They're terrible, and Luke Fickell's nuts are getting hung. We already knew this. We already talked about this. I'm also going to Madison this weekend, too, so maybe they'll turn it around. Newsflash, buddy, they won't. They suck. But anyways, go Brewers, go Crew. Let's get it done tonight, boys. I've never been wrong so fast in my life. I was so confident going into tonight, and the Brewers fucking sold again, and they're going to keep selling, and they're going to get our hopes up every single year, find a new way to break our heart, and we're just going to move on with our lives. There's no shot they win Saturday. Okay, I can't go that crazy. But they're going to break our hearts like they always do, and even if we win, we're losing to the Dodgers, but it's not about the Dodgers. It's not about the NLCS. It's about beating the Cubs, and we just can't do it because we suck, and we find a different way to break our heart every single year. Okay, now that rant's over, I'm going to get into plays that I love this week. In the NFL, let's talk about the NFL. Cam Scatterbo, 3 touchdowns tonight. White Boy of the Year with Jackson Dart. White Boy of the Year. We had OptimusSlime talking about it, bro. He knows. They know. They're actually fucking insane. They're really putting the White Boys back on the map because we've been in the back burner for a long time. We have. But we might be back.
Love it, I hate it plays of the week. One of the plays that I love is Colts -7.5 at home versus the Cardinals. Kyler Murray might be out. Not that it even matters, but the Colts are just a wagon. I think JT's going to run all over them, and the Colts are going to dominate in that game. Another play I love this week is the Chargers and Dolphins over 43.5. I think that there's going to be a lot of points in that game, and 43.5 doesn't seem like a ton of points, so I think that one's going to go over. A play that I absolutely hate this week is the Packers -14.5. Joe Flacco's coming through, probably to wreck our shit. We don't really have DBs that can guard Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Hopefully we get a bunch of sacks. We'll see. Joe Flacco might die in the first quarter. We kind of already talked about that, but I still hate Packers -14.5. I'm shocked that they haven't shifted the line, and I don't think we're going to cover. But we better win. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of violence in the Wisconsin area, and there's going to be a lot of phone calls to the police. So let's make sure that we at least get something this weekend, guys. Please, like for the safety of the people in the state, in the cities, like, please, somebody win. But we're probably going to lose both games. Whatever. Fuck it. It's over. Not a love it, I hate it play. Just a love it, I hate it game. I fucking hate the Titans at the Raiders. Why is that even being broadcasted on our TVs? Why would they put us through that? Why is that on Fox and not PBS? Why is it not honestly just being streamed on YouTube? Like, who gives a fuck? Put the game on Twitch. Have Aiden Ross main camera his face and with the game in the corner of the screen. Who gives a fuck about the Titans and the Raiders? Get this shit off my TV. That's unbelievable. All right, guys. As you can tell, I'm not in a fucking very good mood. The Brewers are ruining my life. They fix my life, they save my life, and then they ruin it that quick, and they do it every single year. And it's breaking me. I'm getting to a breaking point. All right. Another play that I just don't know what Vegas is thinking here is Detroit at the Chiefs. Detroit is +2.5. I just don't really understand that. The Lions are a wagon. I would love if the Chiefs won. That would actually be great. I don't see that happening. I think Detroit's money line is the play. I think the +2.5 is the play. I love it. I mean, the Lions +2.5 is I love it play. Cannot believe that's what the line is. But anyways, we move. And lastly, I'll get just one more I hate it play out there. Let's go with Pittsburgh -5.5 versus the Browns at home. I don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be covering this game. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be in hell, and I think Cleveland covers 5.5 pretty easily. So Pittsburgh -5.5 is an I hate it play of the week, but Aaron Rodgers is going to throw 8 touchdowns, and fuck it, Jordan Love is going to throw 10. I don't give a shit anymore. I need something. My life is falling apart, and it all happened within the last 4 hours after I just watched the Brewers shit down their own leg. I'm losing my mind, guys. Anyways, that's the pod for the week. A bit of a longer one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty entertaining. It's good to have Napoleon back after that feud he had with Mark Sanchez that you guys saw made the news. We're battling. We're going to keep battling. And please, Packers win. Please, Brewers win. Otherwise, like I said, it's going to be blood shed. All right, thank you guys. We really appreciate all your support and comments on the posts. Again, we're going to be having a counter going this season to enter in a raffle for some CBD1 merch. Some CBD1 merch. You're going to want that. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend.